Sri Guru Charitra, Chapter 42. Lord Vishwanath's Grace on Twasta. This chapter describes Twasta's Kasi Yatra and how he earned Lord Vishweshwara's grace and was able to fulfill all the impossible demands of his Guru and his family members. This chapter teaches us that there is nothing which cannot be achieved through faith. Siddha Muni continues the narrative as under. The Avadhut instructs the young celibate about the Kasi Yatra Vidhi. Griha Yatra, Dakshina Manasa Yatra, Uttara Manasa Yatra, and finally the Panchakrosa Yatra. Early in the morning, after taking the bath in the Ganges, one should first offer worship to Dhundi Raja and then offer his worship to Lord Vishweshwara. Ganga Snana confers the same merit which Dhyana did in the Krita Yuga, Tapas or penance in the Treta Yuga, Yajnas in the Dwapara Yuga. In the Kali Yuga, Ganga Snana is the most meritorious rite and endows one with the Moksha Samrajya, that is, sovereignty or freedom of spirit. As soon as one rises from bed, if he just thinks of the Ganges river 3 times, he will be purified of all sins. There is no other easier saving path in the Kali Yuga than a bath in the holy Ganges. Kasi is called the Avimukta Kshetra, Ananda Kanana, Mahasamsana, Rudra Geha, etc. Every bit, every inch of it is most holy for 5 krosas around Kasi. Within the sacred precincts, this 5 krosa area, there are many sacred lingas, tirthas, etc. Therefore, whoever does this Panchakrosa Yatra will have had darshan and will have done pradakshinas of so many holy lingas and sacred centers, and the merit of this endowed is limitless indeed. Lord Vishweshwara has conferred special merit on Manikarnika. It is as meritorious and sacred as the Vishwanath temple itself. One has to take bath in the Chakra Pushkarani, then perform oblations to Devas and Pitrus and offer charities to Brahmins. Thereby, all his ancestors are redeemed and they attain Akshaya Punya Lokas or eternal life in heavens, divine realms. Every day one has to do the Antagriha Yatra and then the Dakshina and Uttara Manasa Yatras. One has to bathe in Jnanavapi and worship Sri Sringara Gauri. On Tuesdays and Sundays especially, Bhairava has to be worshipped, which will endow great merit. On Ashtami, Navami and Purnima days, Mother Annapurna has to be worshipped. It will endow all good and auspiciousness. Vishnumurti, Dhundi Raja, Bindu Madhava are also to be worshipped. During the Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha, every day in the prescribed way, all will have to bathe in the particular tirtha and worship the particular lingas doing the Abhisheka. One should stay as many days as possible in Kasi and in his own name enshrine one Shivalinga there. By doing this and offering worship and Abhisheka to Lord Vishweshwara, one would get Sakshatkara, the direct vision of the Lord. After giving these instructions to the young lad, the Avadhut disappeared. Twasta realized that it was none else but the Guru of Gurus, the Adi Guru, Lord Vishweshwara himself, who had come in the form of the Avadhut to help him. Twasta devoutly followed all the instructions of the Avadhut and took darshan of all the shrines and performed all the vidhis. Lord Vishweshwara was very much pleased with the devotion of the boy. He appeared before him and asked him to seek a boon. The Brahmachari prayed that he may be blessed to fulfill all the tasks set by his Guru and the Guru's family members and that thereby be able to please them all. The Lord blessed him and granted him all the boons and asked him to return to his Guru's place. Twasta was able to fulfill all the tasks set for him with Lord Vishweshwara's grace and blessings. The Guru, his wife and children were pleased with the boy beyond all measures. The Guru imparted to Twasta all scriptural knowledge and spiritual wisdom, and Twasta became perfect in knowledge and an enlightened being. He became Vishwakarma, master of all the arts and skills, and came to be known as Twasta Brahma. Here ended the Guru Bhakti Mahima as related by Lord Shiva to Parvati. Sayam Dev thanked Gurunath for enlightening him on Guru Bhakti Mahima and started extolling him again. O Gurunath, your Lord Dattatreya, the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara unified in one. You were the originator of the Vedas. Whenever dharma starts declining, you incarnate in the world to destroy the wicked and to protect the good, to resuscitate dharma and to re-establish it again on earth. You were the ordainer of the Varnashrama Dharma for the upkeep of harmony, order and happiness in the human society and the world. You are the giver of all auspiciousness and you are an ocean of mercy. You are always seated under the Audambar tree, ever ready to receive your devotees and to offer them your divine and loving protection at all times. You are the Bhaktavatsala Lord. You are the tree. I am the creeper nestling around you. You are the Kalpavriksha come on earth. Your mere darshan is enough to destroy the accumulated store of sins of all our former lives. You are the fulfiller of the 4 Purusharthas of life. Please permit me to stay at your lotus feet and bless me that I shall never be separated from you. Sri Narasimha Saraswati told Sayamdev that he could bring his family and stay at Gangapur. Sayamdev had 4 sons. The eldest was Nagnath, who became the most ardent devotee of Gurunath. He became very dear to Gurunath and was much loved by him. One day, Gurunath asked Sayamdev to perform Ananta Padmanabha Vrata, as it happened to be the Ananta Padmanabha Chaturdashi day. Sayamdev said the Gurunath himself was his Lord Ananta and he would only worship Gurunath. Gurunath said that Ananta Padmanabha Vrata had very great significance and that by performing it, Kaundinya had earned great merit and attained an eternal abode in the starry heavens. Sayamdev requested Gurunath to tell him how Kaundinya happened to perform the Vrata. Thus ends the 42nd chapter of Sri Guru Charitra describing the Kasi Yatra. Glory to the all-merciful, the omnipresent and the ever-responsive Gurunath.